going, everyone? Welcome back to Gamescom 2013. We're here at the Battlefield 4 booth / city, which is what I've been calling it because it is absolutely massive. I'm joined by Patrick Bach from DICE, and Patrick, we're going to talk about some Battlefield stuff, answer some questions from the community, and of course, watch some Battlefield. You excited?
That sounds great. Perfect.
Always, always. So we're waiting for the players to kind of fold into the lobby here, but I do want to ask. There's actually a really cool question here from Paracel on Twitter, who actually says, who composed the game soundtrack of Battlefield 4? Was it kind of just like a DICE operation, or was there someone who did it?
Well, it's actually, we have two composers that actually helped us do the music for Battlefield 3 that came back and helped us do the music for Battlefield 4. Okay. And it's been directed by our audio director. And it's a full collaboration between DICE and these composers. So it's fully tailored to fit the style and tone of the game, but also then have some resemblance back to the classical Battlefield themes and also Battlefield 3.
That's awesome to know. I mean, of course, I know that a lot of people like I like the grittiness of the Battlefield soundtrack, so I've always been a big fan of that. So, of course, a couple more questions about it. Let's see here. Okay, so this is one that I wanted to know. Is there vehicle camouflage? We talked about the icons, right?
Yes.
Yesterday, that was a possibility. Is there a possibility for vehicle camouflage? Is it something that is in the game or something you guys talked about at DICE?
It's in the game. You can already do that today. You can try it out in the game today. You can fully customize your vehicle's camouflage by picking from the same list you use as from picking the camos from your gun. Okay. So there's a bunch of different camos you can get. Some that fit the map, or you can just choose to not fit it to
the ridiculous ones like ice camo in a desert map.
Why not? It's cool. Because you can.
Because it's Battlefield and you can do it without a problem. So that's good to know, because I know that a lot of people were actually asking that. They were like, is vehicle camouflage in it? And I could have sworn that I had saw it, but I wasn't like entirely positive. So that's good to know. And of course, we do have some gameplay going on right now. So let's go ahead and jump into the action, as we're going to be taking a look here at the actually at the tabletop perspective of Obliteration. Now, Obliteration is a new game mode here for DICE and for Battlefield. What is your favorite part about Obliteration?
I think the coolest thing with Obliteration is, first, that it's a two-step process, more or less. It starts off by locating the bomb, and when the bomb is randomly spawned on the map, both teams will fight to get it. And there's a tactical depth to actually how do you approach that objective, because you either go just head on and pick it up and run with it, or you wait for the other team to pick it up, move it, and then you take out the enemy, steal the bomb from them, and then bring it to the bomb site.
Yeah, I noticed there's just like a lot of variety in how you can approach it, right? And I think that's a really cool thing about Obliteration, for sure.
Yeah, no, I love that shit. And also on top of that, once you have the bomb, you need to be very careful on how you get to the objectives. And as you're taking out the objectives and they become fewer, you start with 3 and you take it down to 1. The enemy will know exactly where you're heading. Yeah. That means that they will set up a defense around that spot and try to take you out as you approach. So then you really need to play as a team. So if the opposing team sets up a good defense, you need a very good opposing team on your side to actually break through that defense and plant the bomb. Yeah, and you can actually see right here that the Russian squad, the blue team, they completely ignored the bomb carrier Bravo 5, who is pretty much just a clear way over here to this bomb site. He's going to plant it over at the A side. And wow, I mean, already, so now you're really getting that whole, you have to understand what Patrick's talking about. I know a lot of our seasoned vets in the Battlefield community, they definitely are like, we know, we're going to set it up, Patrick, don't worry about it, we'll be okay. But he does manage to destroy it there too, so now they're only going to have 2 bomb sites left to destroy. Yeah, so when they detonate, I think this is a wake-up call for the other team that they need to change their tactics. Some people just ignore it to play the game mode. That's just the way it is. They just want to frag as much as possible, and they just ignore the actual game mode. But then, of course, that will drain you from winning the round. So I think there's a wake-up call now for the team that just lost one of their sites, and they will definitely try to find the bomb and or defend their bomb site. Yeah, I noticed right there as we jumped on board with this sniper there that there are tracers on the snipers. So
I like that a lot because I want to know where I'm getting shot from, which always makes me happy.
Yeah.
So now I want to ask you about Battlefield 4 Premium, right?
Yep.
As you can see here, we have a guy, Holes Lagor, on Twitter, who actually asked about Premium. Is that something that's going to be coming with Battlefield 4 when it releases?
Yes, we will release the Premium package for release, so that people know that if they get it, they will get all the 5 expansion packs automatically 2 weeks in advance as they get released over the post-launch campaign. And the idea is basically the same as in Battlefield 3, where you pay up front, you get everything that is associated with Battlefield and more.
Okay, so that's good to know. I know that a lot of people, when they saw Premium, they were like, okay, I want to know more, but I'm not entirely positive, so makes perfect sense there. And then, so now jumping back into the game, jumping back into Battlefield, I know we're going to a bunch of different questions because this is all stuff that's coming from you guys, the community. I want to know about the dynamic, or levolution maps, the dynamic maps, right? Now, is the mission of levolution to be in every map in Battlefield 4, or is it just something that you guys are, going to have in certain maps, and some maps are going to not have levolution, but other aspects of it, not like a big event, something like that. What's been the mission there with DICE?
The concept of levolution is to have, create dynamic environments, as in completely dynamic environments, and not only have one thing like something falling over or have one wall being destroyed. It's more about the concept of everything being dynamic.
Okay.
So the example of the ship barging on the shore, for instance, is just one piece of that levolution concept. You can see destruction being upped quite a lot in the game. More or less everything is destructible. You can take down full buildings. We also have small elements like birds flying off from bushes to reveal your position. We have metal detectors, you can open and close doors.
Yeah.
We have elevators you can ride, stuff like that creates a very dynamic playground for you. And that is of course just the backdrop to the actual action going on. So for the players that are, the smarter player will be more efficient in a dynamic world. And then on top of that you have, like in the Paracel Storm example, weather changes.
Yes.
That drastically changes not only view distance and the way a map feels and looks, but also the waves then becoming really high.
Yeah,
completely new way of playing on water that we haven't really seen in any multiplayer game before. So levolution is definitely a concept that will be applied on all maps in the game.
Okay, so without a doubt. Now, this is something I am personally curious about, not a community thing. But let's say I decide to, me personally, host a tournament with this amazing spectator mode, and I'm just like, I want to host a tournament, and I like the levolution aspect, but is there going to be an ability to toggle it, or is it just always going to be a factor in the map no matter what?
We're actually looking into ways, if we need to, if people really feel like it's a bad thing or it creates a problem, then we'll of course look into ways of limiting or having options to limit things. But the idea is to, depending on game mode, you will actually get different aspects of this on your map. You can see, in this game mode it's full on, for instance, but when you play Domination, it's not as important because it's not circling around several islands. It's more about one island.
That's right.
So
that's right.
The waves are not as big as a problem, etc., etc. So the smaller, faster, tighter game modes will not be affected as much as the Conquest or the Rush or the Obliteration game modes.
Okay. And now in the Obliteration game mode here, I do want to ask you about the levolution in here, because I know that the tidal waves come up, right?
Yep.
Does the ship crash into the island as well, like in Conquest?
Yes.
Okay. So I know that was something I saw a lot of people asking me as well in regards to that too.
But we're looking into different things. You can see that the windmill here is on fire, so it's probably closing in on something happening quite soon. And you can also see that, I saw the team that you were following, that they were actually sticking together quite well.
Yeah.
So they are probably a really good team. I think they will get that bomb planted.
Get that objective. Yeah, and actually they did end up planting it over at B, so, and they have defense there as well. They're trying to hold this one down as best they possibly can. And we are actually going to be jumping over to Bravo 16 now, who could revive his teammate, but opts not to. Actually, I don't know if he could. No, actually, yeah, he could have. Oh, what a bad teammate. But yeah, so that is certainly something cool to know there in regards to the levolution. I know that, and they do manage to actually plant and destroy the B bomb site, so that's going to be a win for them. Now, I heard you mention something about domination, and I know that a lot of people have been asking me that as well. Run me through domination a little bit, because we're not going to get to see it here on the live stream, but I think it is going to be good to at least mention it there. Yeah. What is the domination game type? How does it play out, and what is it meant for?
Domination is a game mode that is the idea is that it's more or less like Conquest, but it's a very fast-paced, very agile version of Conquest.
Okay.
So you control and hold flags, but it doesn't take as long to cap them, and you have fewer flags. And it's a smaller game mode in general, so it's a more competitive way of playing Conquest, you could argue. We're actually showing it here at Gamescom, but behind closed doors on PlayStation 4.
So if I'm understanding this correctly here, this is the island where you will play on for for domination, and it'll probably be like 3 different points here that will be spread across, and it's like that fast pace, like hold it down, get the kills, push up, try and control spawns, things like that. I'm personally excited for that, because that definitely, as an infantry guy, I just love playing infantry combat. That really does make me happy. Now, do you have plans of introducing vehicles into that, or is it just purely infantry because of the small scale of the map?
Yeah, the goal is actually to have it more focused on infantry, but then of course maybe throwing in some light vehicles there just for transport. But the core idea is to have it focused on infantry, because again, we don't want all game modes to be focusing on the same thing, because the diversity of the battlefield as a system is huge.
Yes.
Oh, they took out the...
No, actually...
Oh, we're following the...
Yeah, we're following... Yeah, because remember, these guys are actually not playing it here.
That is
They're playing on the other side. So we're jumping... Yeah, we're jumping all over the place here, man.
People were happy, so I thought someone won.
Oh, because, when you're playing Battlefield, you always got to clap.
There you go. No, but in general, the goal for domination is to create a faster-paced conquest variation that is really competitive, really agile, focusing on the infantry experience.
Yeah, and I'm getting a couple more questions here in regards to spectator mode, and I feel I do want to ask this. So are there plans to bring the spectator mode to the next gen consoles? Is that something that you guys...
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's there.
It's there?
Yeah.
All right, so when the game comes out, Golden Boy can run his tournaments on Battlefield tournaments, domination.
On next gen consoles.
On next gen consoles. You heard it here first, guys. I'm running tournaments, and you guys are going to love it. Oh, we actually just saw a melee kill there. Now that's actually really cool that that you guys threw that melee I guess action into it, right?
Yeah, the counter knife.
Instead of just like a chop, it's more or less just like, hey, we're gonna have like this animation play out. So that's really cool stuff, without a doubt. And I mean, I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of people that are really happy about answering the questions that you answered. I guess we'll take like one more from the community and see like what. Just throw it at you, Patrick.
Why not?
Just throwing it at you.
Keep it coming.
All right, so let's see here. Let's find a good one now. I asked about dynamic maps, and actually, this is a great one. Actually, comes from Dogcan on Twitter, Anthony Rutherford. So shout outs to you, buddy. He says, how dynamic are the maps, and can they range from desert style maps to maybe snowy, slope style maps?
They are the goal for all Battlefield games has always been to create diversity. How do you test your skills the best on different types of map, different verticality, different materials, and Battlefield 4 definitely have that scale and that width of different locations. And yes, there will be snow. And yes, there will be more desert-like maps, there will be open plains, there will be tight urban combat maps as well, so there will be enough for everyone.
All right, and then this is for me. I asked you this question at E3, and I'm hoping that the answer is the same because it's hilarious. Dinosaurs. Is that a thing?
I can't comment any dinosaurs right now.
Why would you do that to me, Patrick? All right, well, Patrick, I want to thank you so much for your time. It was an absolute pleasure. It's always fun to talk to you guys. We're going to be right back. Corey Dunn is going to be hopping in once again in the booth. We're going to be breaking out some more Obliteration game type, talking about what Patrick just discussed with us here, and of course, taking more questions from you guys, the community. Of course, you can reach out to me at GoldenBoyFTW on Twitter, or you can check out Reddit r/Battlefield, where I'm actually hosting a thread there, and you guys can put your questions on there, and I will read them here on stream, and hopefully amazing people like Patrick can answer them. So Patrick, once again, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
And we will see you guys on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Plenty more Battlefield action live from Gamescom 2013.